Hello, lovely people, and welcome. Thank you for coming and visiting my channel today. Today I'm going to do a fluid acrylic painting. This is something I've seen a couple of people do a little while back. It was popular for a little bit, and I wanted to do one then and hadn't actually gotten around to it. So what I'm doing here is I'm setting up the background. This is a gold. When it dries, it's nicely reflective, and I wanted the brightness behind what I'm going to do. After I did that, I sketched out a silhouette of a woman's face, Xeroxed it because I wanted to keep the original, and cut out along the edge of the silhouette line. And I'm using that to draw this silhouette onto this masking tape that I have put down, painter's tape down on top of the gold that I had before. And then I used that silhouette to draw the outline, and then I used an X-Acto knife, and here I had to be very, very careful because I didn't want to cut into the canvas at all, so it took a little while. But I used an X-Acto knife to cut along that silhouette and pull off the masking tape inside it, so I'm left with the masking tape masking over the gold part that I want to be the background. And like I said, you have to be very careful during this part and not cut through the canvas. And after I did this, I find with this masking tape, even just having the masking tape down, I still will end up with paint going underneath the edges. So in addition to the masking tape, I always seal the edges with a gel medium. I put down a couple of layers of gel medium on top of that right along the edges and let it dry, and that seals, and then I don't have as much problem with bleed through of the paint. I still tend to get a little bit, but not anywhere near as much as if I don't seal it. So, oh, and by the way, I'm filming with a new setup now. I switched over to a camera instead of a webcam, which is what I have been using before. I like the camera a lot more. I think the colors are much more true. It's handling the color balance much better, and I like that. So after I had set up my silhouette edge, I went through and I painted the rest of the background black, red in this case, because normally when I do a swipe, I find that there are little spots of white that show through. I work with silicone, and sometimes it goes all the way down to the canvas. So I decided to paint the background red first and the silhouette itself black first, so that if I do get any of those little spots of where the silicone takes it all the way down to the canvas, it'll show through with the reds and the blacks instead of the white of the canvas. And then I used for my swipe a mixture of yellow, gold, orange, and red to do the background colors, and some of these had silicone in them. And I used black as the cover swipe. And it took me a couple of rounds of fussing with the swipe and with the colors underneath it to get it to where I liked. And you can see how the silicone very quickly pushes through the paint and gives the nice cells that it's known for doing when you're working with fluid acrylics. So it took me 3 swipes to get something I liked, and once I had that to where I thought it was pretty, I removed the masking tape from the silhouette, and you can see that there still is a tiny bit of bleed through underneath, so I had to spend some time cleaning up those edges, and that actually is the most fiddly bit of the whole project. I went in with some gold paint, and I also spent some time using an X-Acto knife to scrape away a little bit. I also found that there was a tiny bit of the tape left, so I had to scrape a little bit away about that. I think that when I went over it a couple of times when I was removing the tape, cutting out the silhouette, there were some very thin strands where I hadn't quite gotten over the same line, so I ended up having to remove those. After a bit, I took a hairdryer there and dried out what I had done so I could do another layer. And this was just, a little bit of calm zen fixing up time, going around the edges, getting the edges smooth the way I liked them to be. And I did that with the gold for a little while, and then I went in from the other side with the black and worked on it from that side. And that's basically the extent of it. I'm really pleased with how this piece came out. I'm calling it Pele 2 because I have a Pele 1, which is a different swipe, not with the silhouette. I really am pleased with this. I think that the effect worked very well. I like the gold background, the silhouette being reflected into the hair. I like the patterns of bright and dark I got throughout the hair, and all in all, I think it worked out really well. So let me know if you like this type of thing. Comment if you do. Please, if you like my work, subscribe, hit the like button, and let me know what you think. As always, be well, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and please come visit again. Thank you so much.